I was around 27 years old at that time. I was just finishing nursing school. And she was like, yeah, you could do what I do. You just gotta become a nurse practitioner. And I was like, okay, no problem. And then she told me how much money she made. I was like, oh.
You should have led with that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you can make people pretty. And it's not hospital based because not everyone's made for the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did learn from starting off in the beginning, which I regret I did not do, is have a contract.
Yeah.
Have all the contracts.
Having the right mindset, like what mindset tools did you implement to be able to like really believe in yourself and go for it?
My job is to make sure my patients are comfortable and they're safe.
I think humor does a good job at that.
Yes. I have a morbid, sick sense of humor, but 99% of patients like it. At least they show it to me.
Yeah. If there was one piece of advice that you can offer that mom, that, woman that wants to be an entrepreneur but hasn't taken that step, what would that advice be?
Do it.
Welcome to the FoundHers Circle podcast. I'm so excited to have you listen to my next guest, Katrina Friedberg. She is not only a mom of 3, a nurse practitioner, but she's the founder of iGLO Aesthetics and Wellness. She's funny, she's relatable, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this episode. Katrina, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to talk about your entrepreneurial journey, your motherhood journey. Let's start with telling everyone a little bit about yourself.
Ooh.
Where to start?
What do we got? Well, I am, as you know, I started my own business. I'm a nurse practitioner by trade, but I got into the field of aesthetics. So it's mostly what people think of aesthetics as Botox and filler, but I do more of that. I lean more towards regenerative aesthetics, which means using biostimulators and trying to turn back the clock on my patients without distorting their faces, because I see like a plague here in South Florida that they think that Botox and fillers are going to fix everything, and it's not, because if we're not looking at the root cause of what is making one look older, then we're not really fixing a problem. But that's more what I do on the business side. I am a mother of 3. I am very tired. I have 3 kids. My business is around 3 years old right now. And I'm in Miami Lakes. I'm right next to my house, thankfully. So it's a little bit closer for everybody. And I'm just surviving.
I think we're all doing that. I don't think anyone is 100% thriving, especially not every single day. Mm-hmm. You said you are a nurse practitioner. So tell me about going from working in a hospital setting to what possessed you to leave that setting and open up your own business.
So when my mom took me to get Botox, I'm like, what the hell is Botox? Why do I need Botox? And she introduced me to her injector. She was a nurse practitioner. And she explained to me what it was. I was like, oh, okay. I was around 27 years old at that time. I was just finishing nursing school. And she was like, yeah, you could do what I do. You just got to become a nurse practitioner. And I was like, okay, no problem. And then she told me how much money she made. I was like, oh.
You should have led with that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you can make people pretty. And it's not hospital based, because not everyone's made for the hospital. Mm-hmm. Even though I did love what I do. I was a surgical nurse and I love surgery. I loved everything about it. I did. And so once I graduated from RN school, I went to an OR nurse. I never did bedside nursing. And then COVID hit.
Yeah, crazy.
I wasn't a nurse practitioner yet. I wasn't even in school yet. But when COVID hit and they shut down surgery and I had to go to the bedside, I had to go to ICU and ER, I was like, I need a way out.
And that was like
I needed something that was more, that showed me more balance, because me taking call, me doing these crazy hours at the hospital, it wasn't sustainable for me and my kids and to be a good mom or the best mom I could be.
would you say that you've always had an entrepreneur spirit? Like as a child, did you always know you were going to start a business, or no?
No, but something's got to give. You have to have like an epiphany. And that's when I had an epiphany. And I do come from a background in my family, especially on my dad's side, everyone had their own business. So maybe it was in me. I just didn't see it.
Until that moment where it kind of all shit hit the fan.
Yeah, for lack of a better, it hit the fan. And I'm like, this cannot be the rest of my life.
Right.
And thankfully, I had a degree that I can branch out into many things. And don't get me wrong, right when I graduated from NP school, I didn't go straight into aesthetics. Nobody would give me a shot because I was green. So I went into women's health. I did primary care. And it took the light out of me.
Yeah.
I tried to like it. I really did. And I'm glad I did. At least I can say I tried it. But I always knew my end game was always going to be in aesthetics the moment I got my first Botox appointment.
Well, I think people assume that a journey is supposed to be linear too, because I'm sure that a lot of the experiences that you had in women's health and have kind of fed into how you approach a patient.
Oh, 100%.
And so I think you didn't enjoy it per se at that moment, but it's definitely made you a better,
It definitely, in terms of empathy and talking through their journey in terms of, let's say for women, menopause and everything that comes with it and how I can integrate that with wellness, regenerative medicine. Absolutely. Because now I can treat them as a whole, because I do still provide concierge primary care, but I make it more personal because I've been in a practice and in environments where medicine is very business-like and you're being managed based on what insurance will cover. And you have the higher-ups managing you on how you will treat your patient.
Right.
And last time I checked, I had full autonomy to do that.
Right. And I think there's like a really strong desire for that concierge type of medicine. Right now, I think people are just tired of the conventional,
Of course, it's not one size fits all.
No. And you go to the doctor and you're waiting there for hours, and you don't necessarily, especially I think women, all of their issues, all of their concerns are not necessarily addressed 100%.
And that's how we miss things.
Right. And with the more exposure and more medicine being run the way that you run it, I think, eventually we'll probably, change the way medicine is administered. So I think for sure there's 100% like desire for that type of concierge service.
And you'd be surprised the level of adherence to care in terms of like continuity. If a patient is just felt like they're heard and they're validated with their feelings of what of their symptoms, and they're like, this isn't right, I've been dismissed by XYZ. If you just listen to them, they'll come back because and they will adhere to the treatment plan, and continuity will not be missed there.
Right. And I think you can extrapolate that to probably any business. I think people respond well when they're heard, when they feel like their issues actually being addressed, when they're being listened to, not just necessarily like a one size fits all type of a situation. So you can extrapolate that to any business. Let's talk about the reality that is starting a new business. Like, how did you go about that? What was your approach? Like, I'm just gonna go and then figure shit out.
Basically, that's just how I wing everything. I don't recommend it. It does take a village.
Yeah.
I luckily I've had I had an accountant. I had someone doing my books to making sure that I could just stay focused on patient care. I do believe just having starting off with that kind of team will set a good foundation. One thing I did learn from starting off in the beginning, which I regret I did not do, is have a contract.
Yeah.
Have all the contracts, because you just never know. Nobody is your friend.
No, definitely not.
No. So just make sure you have contracts in place. You have someone good with numbers supporting you. And and just have your village, because it's a lot of sacrifice. When you see a successful woman and a successful entrepreneur mom, that means she missed out on a lot.
Yeah, I think people, and I mean, you're in the world of aesthetics, so like everything is about how it necessarily looks. And with social media, obviously, you have this idea of what running a business looks like or being a mom looks like, but the reality is it takes years to perfect whatever you're doing.
Oh, I'm still a
If you-
shit show.
right.
It's still a shit show.
Even if you like, let's assume there's some level of perfection, right? But I think having the right mindset, like what mindset tools did you implement to be able to like really believe in yourself and go for it?
Delusion. The delulu.
Yeah.
I had the delulu.
Yeah.
You can ask anybody. You can ask my boyfriend. He's like, what? He's like, aren't you worried? I'm like, no, it's just gonna happen.
Right.
I am a big believer in manifestation.
Yeah. And so that would be like what you do now.
Yeah, I am a delulu.
Yeah.
But I work my ass off at the same time.
Right. I think people miss that.
Yeah.
Component.
Yeah, you gotta work. I work my ass off. I do the song and dance every day. I worry. You think when I leave a patient's room, I'm never thinking about them again? I am constantly thinking about my patients.
Right.
Always. My phone is always near me. Always. Because they're under my care.
And I think what I have the privilege of knowing you, I think you take a lot of ownership for what you do in the sense that you care that it's done correctly. There are a lot of individuals that I probably do not have that like weight on their shoulders. So you care and you want to make sure that they are happy with the service, that they're happy with how they look. I mean, it really, this is the first thing that people see of you.
And it consumes me, right? Because I also have a little imposter syndrome too.
Okay. What do you do to get rid of that? Or maybe you don't get rid of it.
Dance.
Right.
But it's always a balance of my imposter syndrome with that, because it's always going to be there. But I feel like I should always have that imposter syndrome because I'm always going to be hungry to be better. I am constantly, you always hear me, I'm going here for training, going there for training. I'm always looking ways to be better because I don't feel like I'm the best. And I'll never feel that way. But I don't take that as a weakness. I feel that that fuels me.
Yeah. I think I feel the same way in that sense where I don't know to what extent it's helpful, like to let your brain, for our own mental health. But I do feel like I enjoy getting better.
Yes.
And if that moment ever comes where I feel like I don't feel like that, then it's time to shift and do something else.
You pivot.
Yeah. I don't think that's helpful. And for me personally, I think people can do whatever they want. But I think for me personally, I know my personality. So you mentioned that you have 3 kids. Like, I'm not even going to use the word balance because I think it's ridiculous. Right. How do you manage your schedule? Like, what tools do you use? Who do you like? Do you rely on other people? Like,
I admit that I rely on other people. I will not sugarcoat that I have everything planned on a calendar. I'm not that person. I do have ADD. But I'm sure there's people out there that feel the same way. I feel overwhelmed, and I don't want them to think that they have to have it all together to have a business. The only thing that I will say is I am very blessed that I have a village to help me. And I'm in a great community where my kids go to school, that if I'm ever in a pinch, they can help me with the kids. My mom can help me with the kids. My dad helps with the kids. So I'm very blessed with that. I am nothing without my village. I cannot take all the credit with that. So that's what balancing with my kids.
Great.
And as far as time-wise and quality time, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard because I work weekends too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I think we have very similar trajectories in that our kids are not, I wouldn't say heavily involved, maybe yours a little bit less, just for obvious reasons. Right, obvious reasons. But I think that you include, I mean, you don't have a choice. Sometimes they have to come along with you. And
all the time.
Right. What do you want them to take away from that experience?
That all this was worked hard for, and this is what you like, because they have a nice lifestyle. and they're going to come with me to the office, and I show them why they have a nice lifestyle.
Right.
What consists of, you want to continue that on your own. And I want to show what hard work is. I want them to see how I talk to patients, because that's how you talk to a human being. Because a lot of these kids nowadays don't even know how to talk.
No.
Heaven forbid they make eye contact.
Right.
So that's what I like to show them. Hard work, decency, empathy as well, and a sense of community, because I'm trying to be involved with the community, so they see that.
Right. And what do you see? We're going into a brand new year. What do you see, or what is your goal for iGLO?
Just to keep for iGLO is to keep the success, the trajectory of expanding in terms of teams and in terms of potentially having a new office. The big picture is I would like to own a building.
Yeah. I think more women need to have that goal.
Yeah, I would like to own a commercial building, have I go there. And you know what? If I can have all business-owned, like women-owned businesses there, I would be a dream, because I will always support women-owned small businesses.
I think I'm glad you said that, because I think sometimes we think so small, like, oh, I just want to run and that's okay too, if that's ultimately your goal. But like,
no, I'm delusional.
Right. You need that big picture to like push you forward, and you need to have your skin in the game. Like
if I could franchise, I would.
Right. That would be fantastic.
I would love to franchise. Anyone know how to franchise? Call me.
And then what do you see as being something that you have to overcome?
My imposter syndrome. Another thing I like to overcome, when I get high anxiety, I get paralyzed. So that's one thing that I am working on. I just got to push through. Eventually I do, because that's just my personality. But it's that breaking through, and I know that not think everything is coming down on me, because I'm always But that's more of I'm a work in progress with that. I've always have been.
I mean, we all have our...
Yes.
If we were perfect, then no.
I'm far from perfect. If I always make fun of myself.
Yeah. I think you're very self-aware.
Yes.
I think that you're very self-aware. You do work very hard. I think that you believe in yourself, and you believe in your vision a lot. And I think that's always been true, because
a lot of people didn't.
Right. And so talk on that. Like, how do you, I don't know if I can say silence, right? Because we don't ever silence that noise, but how do
I
you...
cry about that.
Oh, really?
Oh, I feel off that. Yeah. Till this day, I see people from high school. I see people from my childhood that they were my age, and when I was a child, they were grown. It's like, we thought you were going to graduate high school. We're surprised you graduated high school.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Or it's like, I can't believe, like, but you're going to touch my face. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to touch your face.
Sean is like that too, where he's just like, I love that type of energy. I love when people think I can't do something.
I love it when they underestimate me. I love it. I love it.
I don't think that, I wish I could harness that and like use that as fuel. And maybe to some extent it does, but like, I don't enjoy that. I don't like that feeling. I don't like knowing that, because I want to assume the best in people, and I want the people that I love to believe in me. And when they don't, that really hurts me.
Oh my God, we should bring my parents onto this podcast.
Oh my gosh. I don't like that feeling.
But now I'm their favorite.
Well, isn't that annoying though? Like the fact that you had to like prove them wrong. Like
it's okay. I actually enjoy it, because I feel vindicated. That I was a pain in the ass. I still am a pain in the ass.
Right.
But I'm not malicious.
Yeah.
I'm not malicious. I'm very matter of fact. What you see is what you get. But one thing I am is I'm empathetic to a fault.
Yeah.
I'm to a fault. And that's really when people see that, when they show me like, oh, I'm so surprised. I'm like, I always say, me too. Because I'm never gonna be like, yeah. No, I just say, me too. Right. Or like I'm nervous, I say, oh, me too.
I think you have a good response for things in the moment where I'm thinking like,
No.
what should I say? Like what? Yeah,
I use my humor to kind of level everything down and just bring down the intensity, because what I do sometimes, I mean, they're high risk things that I do.
Right. Yeah, you do.
And yes, I can be laughing, making a joke with my asshole this tight, like the right, because I'm so scared. But I'm very my job is to make sure my patients are comfortable and they're safe.
I think humor does a good job at that.
Yeah, yes. I have a morbid, sick sense of humor, but 99% of patients like it. At least they show it to me.
Yeah. No, I think.
But I can read a room. I'm not gonna be like that with everybody.
Right. No, I think it like brings down the stress, maybe, and the anxiety that people feel when they're gonna be in that type
of course seat. But I learned that as an OR nurse, because when I first introduced myself to a patient, this is like one of the most vulnerable times of their lives. They're gonna be, going to surgery. So that's where I learned.
Yeah. Which goes back to my point of like, sometimes you have to do things to experience certain feelings and certain situations that are going to ultimately help you in your next phase in your life, or whatever, your next job or role, whatever.
Yep. Then you take and you learn things from every little thing. Everything's an opportunity. Everything's a stepping stone.
Yeah. So I will end on this note. If there was one piece of advice that you can offer that mom, that woman that wants to be an entrepreneur but hasn't taken that step, what would that advice be?
Do it. Because let's say, and I'm not going to use the word fail. Let's say it didn't work out as you thought it would. At least you don't have that regret. I think living with regret is the most rotting thing that can happen to you. It will rot you.
Yeah.
Just do it. You're more than a mom. I've told you this before.
Yeah.
I'm more than a mom. I'm more than an injector. I'm more than Katrina. I have layers. And don't be honed down on I'm just a mom, or I'm just a businesswoman, or I'm scared. No, do it. Don't regret it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy this episode. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you found it insightful and entertaining. Please let me know in the comments what was your favorite part. And don't forget, like and share. And don't forget to subscribe.